So this is a bit of a crazy story. I'm gonna see if I can get all the correct information out there so that I don't misconstrue or say anything that's out of line. But basically, this is essentially what I heard the other day. Some dude, a married man, cheats on his wife. They have a daughter in common. The the wife and the daughter obviously find out one way or the other. So the wife, who's obviously upset and bitter, sends pictures of her husband's mistress to their daughter. And here's the crazy part. Do you know what the daughter does? She posts online the photos of her daddy's mistress on an escort site. And probably in so doing, she does it to prove a point, namely that she's a slut and a hoe and whatever. Or according to her, she's a slut and a hoe. From a persuasion standpoint, when it comes to prohibiting behaviors like this, because irrespective of you being a child and your parents or one of your parents cheat on the other one, posting photos of the mistress in question isn't okay in that regard, because even though she was part of the cheating, it was still her father who did the cheating deliberately. Now, I'm not here to judge guilt or anything. I'm just saying that you can't blame the mistress for cheating as much as you can blame the father or the husband in that in question for the cheating. So from a persuasive standpoint, that needs to be penalized. And this woman, the daughter of the couple, the daughter of the husband that cheated on his wife, was sentenced to 3 years in jail for posting photos of her father's mistress online on some escort site. Now, feel free to think whatever you think about that penalty, about that judgment. I personally think it's grossly exaggerated. I mean, it doesn't constitute any sort of logic sentencing some woman who's bitter and upset that her father cheated on her mother to 3 years in jail simply for posting some photos of the slut or whore in question. But whatever. From a persuasive standpoint, it's got a great and tremendous effect, because it sends a signal. It sends a warning signal. It sends a signal saying, hey, look, if you do this sort of thing, we're going to crack down hard on you. So you better watch out. This is persuasion 101. It doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's necessary. It surely doesn't mean that it is called for. But it is efficient in terms of a persuasive standpoint. And I'll tell you something else, what's very, very persuasive about this situation and how you can utilize it to make money, or rather to inspire confidence, to inspire motivation in yourself to work hard so that you can make more money. The extreme anger and disgust and rage and sadness and general anxiety that some people have to experience when they read stuff like that will make them enraged, and they will probably seek out right-wing leaning parties that are pro-free speech, parties that have a liberalistic sort of way of governing things, parties that are anti-surveillance, and political parties that in general promote having a smaller government, having a lesser invasive government at all, and having laws that actually ensure a little bit more freedom of speech or freedom of expression in that regard. Now, just to be clear, I'm not defending the actions of this woman who posted the photos of her daddy's mistress on some escort site. I'm really not. I think that was wrong. I don't think it's fair, and it certainly should be penalized one way or the other. I'd say a fine or some such. But prison for 3 years? That inspires precisely the sort of revolution, or let me rephrase that again. That inspires precisely the sort of feeling that will trigger some sort of a revolution eventually, because people are having enough. People can't take it anymore. Yeah, it's wrong, but it ain't that wrong. And if rapists is being let loose, if a rapist is being let loose, if somebody who commits an axe murder or stabs someone to death, and they're being let loose, or the police neglects solving such cases. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm saying if it happens, but they go after someone who actually just posts as a in the heat of the moment that somebody's posting someone else's photo without their permission, or some on some escort site, just to make them feel bad. The police go after them, but they don't go after somebody who's committing other more heinous crimes. Again, I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just suggesting if that hypothetically is the case. That will inspire revolution. That will inspire uprisings. That will inspire a counter movement to the actual political landscape that's going on, that's being allowed to evolve. And that's precisely the sort of anger and motivation and rage that you need to find in yourself to make more money. That's the real persuasion we're talking about here. The persuasion that comes from within because of rage, because of anger, because of sadness, because of hopelessness, because of despair, because of everything. Because you're so sick and tired of all the nonsense that's going on. Do you understand how important that is? That rage that you feel, that makes your blood boil over because you feel that everything is so unjust and unfair and you don't want to be part of that society. Well, you have a chance right now, and that chance is to actually take that persuasion, turn it into energy and turn it into discipline, and start working on becoming financially independent, because with more financial means comes more freedom. Think about that and think long and hard about that. And with that being said, if you want to learn more about persuasion in terms of making money, sales, building a financially secure future, then get subscribed to my email list. The link to do so is below the episode description wherever you are watching and are listening to this. Again, the link is in the episode description wherever you are watching and are listening to this, and I'll see you there.